Hello traders and welcome to another video review. Today is Thursday, July 3rd, 2025. Let's take a look at the Forex economic calendar for today. During the Asian session we got some data released, so let me just see what is going on. Bank services PMI from Japan beats the expectations, 51 previous number, actual 51.7, so that's even better than the forecast. Trade balance in Australia shrinks to $2.23 billion. Chinese services PMI down from 51.1 to 50.6. Russian services PMI down to 49.2. CPI in Switzerland up from 0.1 to 0.2. We are still waiting for the CPI data from Turkey. This data is scheduled for release at 9 o'clock. Then we have some comments from German Buba Balz. PMI data in form of the services PMI and composite PMI from the Eurozone countries, and the Eurozone are scheduled for release just before the 10 o'clock. At 10 o'clock we got the Eurozone composite PMI and services PMI, and 30 minutes later we got composite and services PMI data scheduled for release from the UK. At 1:30 we got the ECB publication of the account of the monetary policy meeting minutes, so ECB minutes are scheduled for release. Then we got the most important data for today. Average hourly earnings, non-farm payrolls, and unemployment rate. All of this data are scheduled for release on at 2:30. Initial jobless claims as well, so big data from the US. Export and imports as well are scheduled for release. Then we have the global services PMI data, and this is scheduled for release at 3:45, and at 4 o'clock we got the non-manufacturing PMI data. All of this data are from the US. 1 hour later at 5 o'clock we got FOMC member Bostic to give a speech. Then we have a US Baker Hughes Oli rig count and total rig count at 7 o'clock, and at 7 o'clock together we got the Atlanta Fed GDP now. So very busy US session with the non-farm payrolls. So without any further ado, let's switch to the chart. We'll start with euro dollar. Ahead of the data release, the euro dollar is trading very calmly in between those two levels, the local technical support 1.1754 and yesterday high 1.1834. As you can see, the market is waiting for the data, is waiting to react on the data, and the bearish divergence is getting even bigger. However, there is not there isn't any big move to the downside spotted just yet, as the market approaches the level of 50. I mean, of course, the RSI. Okay, so the RSI approaches the level of 50. The market doesn't actually move that much to the downside. So definitely the traders are positioning themselves ahead of the data release, and they are waiting for the data to see what to do apparently, right? So let me just leave it like it is right now. Please notice that after the 5-wave impulsive structure to the upside had been completed, possibly it had been completed with this doji pin bar here at the level of 1.1830. The next cycle is the corrective cycle to the downside, full ABC correction, which could even go as low as the previous wave 4 level, which is 1.1446, before this correction is completed, and then the market would be ready to move higher. British pound ahead of the data, as you can see, is moving according to our plan. The market went down because of the bearish divergence. It's very nice and very visible here that the divergence was apparently correct. So from the level of 1.3786 we got the low at 1.3561. We broke below this slightly. We broke below this demand zone. Let me just add one more line here then. if the bears wanted that low, there you go, 1.3561, and this is our new demand zone. As you can see, the market cannot even break now above 1.3673, which is now the technical resistance. And please notice that we went down towards the level of 35 points on RSI. There is still a room to the downside. We might see the movement to the downside, especially if there will be some sort of the global strengthening of the US dollar across the board. Then British pound will be sold, and the euro dollar finally might break lower, right? So please keep an eye on this situation. Let me just switch to the US dollar, Japanese yen. Not much is going on here. We tested the technical support at 142.81, big pin bar made here, almost into the extremely oversold conditions, 52 points only as the low here. Slight bounce to the upside, so it looks like the market doesn't actually respect this horizontal level right now. Let me just move it here for sake of things, and let me add one more line here, because it looks like, there you go, we might have some internal trend line resistance. To be honest with you guys, let me just remove the magnet. I think we could even move it that, and let me just change the color and make it thicker. So what I want you to see, let's make it black, right? We have a first touch, second touch, third touch, breakout, test. Maybe now there is a time to move higher, where towards the 100 periods moving average, which is located at 144.68, or even higher. So possibly we might see some sort of the movement to the upside, especially if there will be a strengthening of the US dollar. In that situation, the gold market on the 4-hour time frame chart might be moving lower. Very nice, strong increase in the RSI, increase in the momentum, positive momentum right now, 61 points, quite strong momentum. And the bulls are still having problem with the last swing high at 3,349 and the 100 periods moving average, which create kind of a strong short-term technical resistance. If we add our black trend line, which is a short-term trend line, so if you can see it here. Let me make it thicker, so you can see that we got this trend line breakout, and some sort of the test was made, and now the market is ready to go up. However, if there is a straightening of the US dollar across the board, this market might go a little bit lower, for example, to test the test line again, trend line again, maybe even lower. So initially we might see some kind of a spike and then a reversal, possibly, if the US dollar would go ballistic right after the data from the US. S&P 500 is moving up and up and up. Uptrend is being continued. However, there is the same situation that we spotted on the a few other markets. You can see that the momentum is decreasing, right? And diminishing volume and momentum is very, very, very typical for the market that is apparently about to make some kind of a bearish divergence. And there you go, bearish divergence is made here. This is the technical support and the all-time high, and the market keeps moving higher slowly and slowly, but on the diminishing momentum. So please notice the situation and focus on it, because we might see some sort of the downside move, a downside correction, especially if again the data will support the strengthening of the euro of the US dollar across the board. Then S&P 500 down, gold down, euro dollar down, cable down, US dollar Japanese yen up, US dollar index up, obviously, right? So that's the scenario for the today's data. That's the bullish scenario for the data, if the data will support the strengthening of the US dollar. And last but not least, let's take a look at the Bitcoin. As I said, we got the yesterday, right? Remember this, we got the initial breakout, we find support here, test the trend line, went a little bit higher towards the last swing high, went down to test the trend line, and again there were buyers here, bullish engulfing pattern, very sharp reversal to the upside. And today it looks like the market is waiting for the data as well. and might getting ready for a potential test of the supply zone. The first is the test, and then possibly even finally a breakout. The situation is bullish on the Bitcoin. The scenario is bullish on the Bitcoin. So right now our blue arrow of doom is going up towards the level of 111,952. Right, any breakout above this level means new all-time high on Bitcoin. That's everything from me for today. Thank you very much for watching this analysis, and I hope I see you guys next time. So take care and bye bye.